Let me ask you a question. If something were to happen to your parents tomorrow, would you know where their will is, who makes medical decisions, or what their wishes actually are? Most families have never had these conversations, and it's not because they don't care, but because they feel uncomfortable. So today I'm going to walk you through the 5 conversations that millennials need to have with their parents about estate planning that can make a huge difference for your family. I'm Darcel Lobo. I've been an estate planning attorney for over 17 years now, and we need to talk about the hard conversations you need to be having with your parents. You need to have these conversations before it's too late. We can't wait until they need an estate plan in order for them to have an estate plan done. And make sure you stick around for item number 5 on this list today, because this one can cost families the most amount of money. The first question for you to ask your parents: do you have a will, or do you have a trust? Or do they not have either? We need to know that too. If they do have a will or a trust, you need to know who's in charge. And also, when is the last time that they looked at it or updated it? Because if it's from 20 years ago, it probably needs to be updated. Is it current? Does it need changes? Are there people in their will or trust who maybe have passed away, or have there been more births? Have there been marriages? Have there been divorces? When's the last time they looked at it? Okay, so it's kind of a few questions in one, but the bottom line, you need to know, do they have an estate plan? If not, they need to get one immediately. And if they do have one, you need to know, is it a will? Is it a trust? What is the plan? Who's in charge? These are things that you need to know beforehand, so that when something happens, you know what it is that you're looking for. Second conversation you need to be having with your parents is, where is it? If they have a will, if they have a trust, where is it, and where is the original? Because when that time comes, you're going to find that you may need to have the original document. So you need to ensure that your parents and you know where the originals are, and you or whoever else is named, if it's a sibling of yours or someone else, that they have access to them. Because it does not do anyone any good if your parents' original will is in a safe deposit box at a bank and nobody else is on the safe deposit box. We need someone else besides them to have access to that box, to have access to the original documents. So you want to make sure that the person who's going to be in charge, it's either named on the box, or is a beneficiary of the box, or has a key, somehow has access to the box. Okay, and if so far tips number 1 and 2 have been helpful for you, please give a like. I'd really appreciate it before we get into topics number 3, 4, and 5 that we need to get into with your parents. Okay, tips number 1 and 2 covered their will or their trust. Tip number 3 is, who is their decision maker during their lifetime? We're talking about circumstances where they're still living, but if they're unable to make decisions for themselves, it can be short term, like an injury or illness, long term, like Alzheimer's, dementia. This would be their power of attorneys. Who is their healthcare power of attorney? Who is their financial power of attorney? Who is going to make these decisions for them? These documents should be in the same location as their will or their trust. If they have a folder or a file or a binder, making sure that all these documents are together, the originals of these documents, and that we know who is in charge and who is going to make decisions. Conversation number 4 you need to be having with your parents is, what are their wishes for their care? Is it important for them to stay in their home as long as possible? Do they know what their end-of-life decisions are? Do they have advanced healthcare directives? We're talking about a living will. In Washington state, we have the post form. What are their wishes for their end-of-life care? It's important that we know this beforehand. If we don't know, and when that time comes, you're going to have to try and make that decision for them. And you're already going to be going through a difficult time. And so having these decisions already made takes a lot of that burden off of the child or anyone else who's having to make these decisions for your parents. And so knowing what they want in advance is so important for you or anyone else handling their estate or as their power of attorney, that is known information to help guide their family and loved ones. Okay, conversation number 5, and I told you at the beginning, this is the one that costs families some of the most money sometimes, and that's, where are the assets? Do you know where their bank accounts are? Do you know where their retirement is, their life insurance, any other investments? Do they have cash hidden inside of a wall, under a floorboard, inside of a couch, or maybe a mattress? And yes, these are all real things that I have seen and have had to help families navigate. It does not help to have hidden cash in a wall of their home if nobody else knows the location of that cash. Because if you don't know about it, then it can't be claimed. It can't be passed on to the heirs, to their children, to their loved ones, if nobody knows where it is. And same with financial accounts. We need to know, where are all these accounts? And for some of your parents, they might have 5, 6 more different financial investments, different companies, different banks. They might like to spread their money around, not have it all in one institution. That's fine, but we need to know about it. We need to know where it is. And I tell my clients all the time that I can pull a credit report and find out what debt you had. There is no such thing for assets. There is no way for us to get a report of all the assets that someone had. And so the time to have a list of and this can be a simple document that just a piece of paper that they even handwrite or type out, whatever their preference is, as to where everything is. Where are all the assets? Because if we don't have that, you are going to find that you are trying to go through old mail, old statements, old tax returns, trying to piece this information together, trying to figure out where mom and dad had their accounts. And so sit down with them and have them do this now. When our office does estate plans for our clients, aside from giving them a binder that has all of their original documents, along with instructions to help guide the family and kind of give them some direction, also in the back of the binder, we include these forms for our clients to fill out as far as different passcodes or email login credentials and who their financial planner is, who their CPA is. Where are the financial accounts? Where's the checking accounts? Where are the savings accounts? Where are the safe deposit box? Where are the CDs? Where's the retirement? Where's the life insurance? All this is in the binder. But even if we didn't do your estate plan, even if we didn't do your parents' estate plan, they can still make that list. And you're going to need that list to help guide you to know where to claim the assets. And I understand that this conversation is really difficult. It's super emotional. I get it. But if you are a millennial like me, we are going to be the ones handling these matters for our parents. We are going to be the ones trying to go through the old filing cabinets, the records, the old mail, to try and piece all this together. And what if your parents have lived in the same house for 40, 50 years or more? I cannot tell you how many families I have helped who have spent so much time trying to go through the family home. And there is over 50 years worth of statements and tax returns and files because the parents kept everything. And they don't know what accounts still exist, which ones were moved, and what is where. And so I tell my clients all the time, even though this conversation is hard, even though it's not one that we want to have, even though we don't want to think about that day when that's going to come, having a comprehensive estate plan is one of the best gifts that your parents can leave to you and to the rest of the family and to their loved ones. To have these decisions made, to have everything listed, to have all that together in one place. Because at that time, when that time comes, you're going to be grieving the loss of your loved ones, of your parents, and all that comes with that, and making, funeral arrangements and memorial services. The last thing you want is a set of legal problems on top of that. So by having these 5 conversations, we can eliminate a lot of those legal problems, make things a lot easier for yourself, for the rest of the family, to have this comprehensive plan in place. So I hope that this encourages you to have this conversation with your parents. If you want to learn more about wills, about trust, about estate planning, if they don't have a plan and they're not sure what they want or need, I have so many videos. We've got over 100 videos now talking about estate planning in Washington State and what all the options are to help them be informed, to help you be informed, to know what to expect. So if your parents need a consultation to get their estate plan in place, contact our office. We have our contact information listed below, and we offer consultations by Zoom, by phone, or in person at my office here in Normandy Park. So I hope this is helpful. I hope this encourages you to have the conversation with your parents that you probably know you needed to have for a while. So now it's time to have it. And with that, I'll see you in the next video. Thank you.